Welcome. This class is about quality. How can organizations deliver higher levels of quality to their customers? And as we'll learn, improving the quality of products and services is all about improving the underlying processes that create those products and services. So if you fix the processes, you'll improve quality. And every business has processes, a lot of processes, just like your job has processes. So a quality skill set applies to every company and every job, including yours. It's a rare skill set that's valuable anywhere. So let's personalize that to you. How can you help your organization deliver better quality? And then more specifically, how can you deliver better quality to your customers? And you might be saying, well, Professor, I don't have customers. I don't deal with the end customer. Every job has customers. Sometimes they're just internal to the organization. So I'll ask you again, how can you deliver better quality to your customers? And in doing so, how can you make yourself a go-to employee in your organization, an A player? I want to teach you quality, and then I want you to teach others how to improve quality. Okay, let's start with an exercise. So think of a high quality product or service that you own. It's your go-to product or service. It's something that you tend to tell others about a lot, maybe even trying to convince them to buy it too. And then someday when you have to replace it, you'll probably just buy another one. You won't even bother to consider the competition. And the next step is a bit more difficult. List two or more specific adjectives that describe why it's so good. What does it have to offer that the competition does not? And this can be hard to verbalize. We know we like it a lot. We just don't always typically think about why. So maybe pause to get your example. And my example is my car. It's a Prius, so definitely no style points there. But we don't buy cars very often, maybe once every 10 years at best. So we wanted reliability, meaning it works over and over and over again. And we wanted durability, meaning that it's going to last a long time. And then we wanted it to be inexpensive. In particular, we don't like to spend money on gas. And this Prius has more than lived up to this expectation. It's about 15 years old. It's only had about $500 in repairs. It used to get 50 miles to the gallon. Now it's down to 45 miles to the gallon. So still very good. Durable, reliable, inexpensive. Those are a few of what we'll call the characteristics of quality. Adjectives that make quality real to consumers like us. So for example, high performing. It works better than the competition, delivering exceptional results. Or it's innovative. It has unique advanced features. Or maybe it's durable. It lasts a long time. Or customized. You can personalize it to your unique needs. Or maybe it was inexpensive, low cost. You might have even been able to pay more for it, but you didn't have to. Or maybe it's sustainable. It has better impacts on the environment and society. Or maybe it was fast. It was quick to get. Or convenient. It was easy to get. These are just some characteristics. There are many, many others, but these tend to be the most common. Consider this. Every time that you make a purchase, you're looking at one or a few of these characteristics of quality, sometimes trading off one for another. And sometimes this decision-making process takes a split second, or sometimes it lasts a few minutes, or even hours, days, or weeks, or months, depending on the size of the spend. So gas for your car, well, that's generally pretty quick. You might go to racetrack. It's certainly convenient with all the locations. And then they have the food and drink, even their own private label wine, believe it or not. And then it's relatively low cost. And then there might be some sentimental value because they're headquartered here in Atlanta. We generally like to go to Costco because it's inexpensive and it's an excuse to go in and buy stuff at Costco. Or maybe you're driving to work or school and you realize that you're very low on gas, so you just jump into BP because it's fast and it's convenient, but it may not be low cost. Again, every time you're making a purchase, you're assessing the quality to make a decision on what to buy. So there are a few important takeaways from this exercise. And number one is that quality is multifaceted and complex. It involves many different characteristics working together or sometimes against one another in a quality decision for a customer. For instance, a lot of people like to shop at Publix. It's convenient with all the locations, and then the stores are big, lots of products, and even services with the deli counter, the seafood counter, the meat counter, the bakery. So it's highly customizable, personalizable to individual customers. But the challenge is it's certainly not low cost. And then number two, quality is personal, it's individualized. What's high quality to you is not necessarily high quality to others. For instance, we like Aldi. It's inexpensive, but it's certainly not convenient because it closes at 8 p.m. and then it's much farther away than Publix or even Kroger. And then we like to go into the store to buy our groceries, but some people prefer curbside or others like home delivery for their grocery. All of these are correct. It just depends on the individual. And then number three, quality can be difficult to verbalize. We don't always fully understand why we really like something. For instance, we like Aldi because of the low prices, but as it turns out, we like it also because of the speed. The stores are small, there's not much selection, and we can get in and out very quickly. And there are no stray shopping carts in the parking lot, but we'll talk about that later in the course. But this idea of quality being difficult to verbalize creates problems for companies trying to understand what their customers really want. And with those points, let's define quality. We'll define it right up front, clear and simple. And for us, quality means consistently meeting customer value expectations. Consistently meeting customer value expectations. So a few key ideas there. And number one is value. Value comes in the form of these characteristics that we just saw, like high performing, innovative, durable. Number two is consistency. The outcome is usually the same. The opposite of consistency is inconsistency or variability. And as we'll learn, variability is the killer of quality. And then number three, meet customer expectations. We don't necessarily have to exceed customer expectations. We just need to meet their expectations over and over again, that consistency. And number four, we didn't even mention the competition. So we don't necessarily need to be better than the competition. We don't have to be the best. We just need to worry about delivering on what our customers expect. Let us worry just about us. That simple definition of quality translates into a business challenge. How can we ensure that our products and services consistently meet customer expectations? We'll see this over and over again throughout the course. And we can make this relatable to our own hometown Coca-Cola. So fans of Coke generally like it because it's high performing, it tastes good, and it's convenient. It's easy to get. And the world enjoys about 2 billion servings of Coke products every day. 2 billion. Coke has to meet customer expectations 2 billion times a day. And they don't even make their own products. They just make syrup. And then third-party bottlers and restaurants mix that syrup with water to just the right flavor, carbonation, and temperature so that Coke can meet their customer expectations. And they're very, very good at doing that. They're approaching 150 years old, and they dominate the world's soft drink market. Their market share is about 15 percentage points higher than their nearest competition, which would be Pepsi. And you may not be a fan of Coke, and that's okay. Quality is unique to each of us, but we can still respect how Coke has dominant leadership over decades and decades via high quality. Let's counter that Coke example with a bold statement. And in my opinion, most organizations are not good at quality. They're not very good. And why is that? Well, they tend to struggle with the day-to-day basics of the operations. And then they also take their current customers for granted. They're more focused on getting new customers. Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha from Berkshire Hathaway, simplifies this with his ABCs of business decline: arrogance, bureaucracy, and complacency. Just one of these can take down even a strong organization. So most organizations, they're not awful, but in my opinion, few are outstanding. There are just a lot of mediocre companies out there. So that will create an opportunity for us. With our quality skills, we can look like a superstar in our organization. But good news, we'll study a lot of different benchmarks, high quality organizations, and often specifically the founders of those organizations. These are companies that have set a vastly higher bar for quality across different industries and sometimes have completely changed those industries. So, for instance, in retail, we'll consider Amazon and my beloved Costco, Walmart, IKEA, consumer products like Dyson vacuums, Estee Lauder, Hermes, Luxottica, and Inditex. In automotive, we'll consider Ford, Tesla, and Standard Oil, which is the John D. Rockefeller company that was broken up into other companies that we know, like ExxonMobil, BP, Marathon. And in food, we just saw Coca-Cola, but we'll also look at Raising Cane's, Mars, Ferrero. And entertainment includes Walt Disney, Sony, and Spotify. And then a lot of different technology companies, Apple, of course, but also NVIDIA, Google, Intel, TSMC, and Dell. And there'll be other companies like Southwest Airlines, and we just saw Berkshire Hathaway, and we'll also study Fastenal. So you might be thinking, well, I haven't heard of all these companies. Well, Hermes is a French luxury goods company. You might have heard of them. If not, you might have heard of their signature product, which is the Birkin bag. It's a $12,000 purse. One purse, $12,000, and they don't even keep them in stock usually. And you also might be thinking, well, Professor, I don't really like some of these companies. I don't. Not a big fan of Walmart, even though I shop there a lot. But we should all keep an open mind. There are breakthrough quality lessons to be learned from all of these organizations.